History will forever remember January 2026, not because Jensen Huang unveiled another groundbreaking graphics card in Las Vegas, nor because Lisa Su slashed computing power prices to rock bottom, but because the recently concluded CES Consumer Electronics Show, like a surgical scalpel, brutally carved out the most cruel and significant watershed in human history. On one side of this watershed is a new world built by artificial intelligence, where computing power is limitless, robots are omnipotent, and technology is exploding at an exponential rate. And on the other side of the watershed is the old world we're familiar with. It's your proud university degree. It's the professional skills you rely on for survival. It's your 9-to-5 iron rice bowl job you thought would last until retirement. The more enthusiastic the applause in the CES venue, the more deafening the sound of the old world collapsing. This isn't a tech war at all. It's simply a farewell ceremony for old humanity, just as the whole world was immersed in the illusion of a technological utopia, thinking AI would take us flying. Elon Musk from his Texas Gigafactory backhanded everyone with a resounding slap. He didn't mince words. He laid out 3 predictions that sound cold and ruthless, yet are so real they make you tremble. The tickets for the old era have already been invalidated. The next 3 to 7 years will absolutely not be a golden age of effortless prosperity, but rather a massive culling where only a very small number of evolvers will be able to survive. Hello everyone, in today's video, we're not here to watch the spectacle, we're here to talk about life and death. I've meticulously broken down for you Elon Musk's recent warning, delivered right after the CES event concluded, tying it together with a whole series of intensive official signals that have emerged from late 2025 through January 2026. So let's examine, at this critical cliff edge, where the old order is giving way to the new, for us as ordinary individuals, how exactly can we manage to avoid falling off and being completely shattered, utterly destroyed? Let's start by discussing Musk's first prediction, the one that will most directly impact our wallets, concerning the painful period of extreme division. I want everyone to cast their minds back and recall what exactly we witnessed at the 2026 CES. On the surface, it appeared to be a battle of epic proportions, a true clash of tech giants. Lisa Su unveiled AMD's latest MI400 series chips, claiming to have half the cost per performance. Jensen Huang, in his signature leather jacket, unveiled Blackwell Ultra. For Wall Street, this spectacle was nothing short of a carnival, but in Elon Musk's eyes, it was a definitive judgment on ordinary workers. Why would I make such a statement? Because we saw a company called AutoCorp at the scene. They're fully automated AI agents. That's what's truly terrifying. Just one server rack can replace the workload of 1,000 salespeople, 500 customer service representatives, and even 200 junior programmers. Looking at these technologies is your first reaction to feel great, to think productivity has exploded, and that humanity can finally free its hands to enjoy life. Elon Musk tells you, don't be naive, that's the ultimate goal, not the present reality. Although Musk promised that in 20 years, AI would create astonishing wealth, even universal high income, meaning robots would work to support us. With so much money you couldn't possibly spend it all. That endgame sounds wonderful, but then he changed his tone, directly revealing the other side of the coin. In the years leading up to that beautiful, ultimate conclusion, specifically from the year 2026 all the way to 2033, these 7 years, the lives of ordinary people could become extremely difficult to bear. And why exactly is that? Because we're about to face an absolutely unprecedented K-shaped situation, with one side experiencing extreme prosperity and the other, widespread joblessness. You just need to look at Silicon Valley right now. Even today, in 2026, Nvidia's market cap has surpassed $4 trillion. Broadcom and AMD are raking in huge profits, tech giants' stock prices are skyrocketing, and AI models are practically updating every single day. Those who control computing power, who command talent, are seeing their wealth grow exponentially, but at the same time, there's a wave of layoffs affecting over 100,000 people. Salesforce laid off staff, Adobe laid off staff, and even Google and Meta are quietly shedding middle managers replaced by AI. This sense of disconnect, where joy and sorrow don't align, is what Musk calls the period of intense pain. At this stage, the speed of old jobs being destroyed is far faster than new jobs being created. This is like a tsunami. When the water recedes, those picking shells on the beach will be swept away. Only those already on high ground will see the new world after the tsunami. In his speech, Elon Musk gave a very specific example. He said, just look at the Tesla factory right now. Optimus robots have already begun to integrate into the production line. They are tireless, they don't require health insurance, and they won't strike, they won't have emotional swings. For shareholders, this is the perfect employee, a dream come true. But for the worker who was just tightening screws, it's the end of their world. And this isn't just a blue-collar crisis. The International Monetary Fund, in its latest report, had already warned that the most terrifying aspect of this current AI wave is that it primarily targets white-collar professionals. The AI agents demonstrated at CES, also referred to as agentic AI, are actively hunting accountants, hunting translators, hunting illustrators, and hunting junior lawyers. In the past, we considered AI to be an assistant, a co-pilot, a co-driver. However, the situation in 2026 is that this co-driver will kick you out of the car and take the steering wheel himself. According to the latest industry data, the end of 2025 is being called the year of the great agent replacement. In the United States alone, 50,000 white-collar positions have been explicitly marked for elimination due to AI automation. Elon Musk has issued a warning, stating that people absolutely should not expect government relief to arrive immediately. Before universal basic income is truly implemented, there will be a long, chaotic, and socially turbulent vacuum period. During this transitional void, if you don't possess truly irreplaceable value, you will inevitably become part of their useless class, as described by Yuval Harari. This brings us to Musk's second significant prediction, the devaluation of academic qualifications and the rise of cognitive ability as king. Here, in 2026, have you noticed a strange, even absurd phenomenon unfolding? Many graduates from prestigious Ivy League universities, despite their gilded resumes, are hitting brick walls everywhere in Silicon Valley, unable to secure employment. Meanwhile, companies like OpenAI, Elon Musk's xAI, and even small AI startups with just a handful of employees are actively recruiting brilliant minds who haven't even completed college or are still attending high school. Even Elon Musk himself, when hiring, no longer looks at your diploma. He explicitly stated in his speech in Texas, "I don't care if you're a Harvard graduate. I don't even care if you've ever attended high school. What I do care about is whether you can use AI to solve a problem that's never been seen before." This isn't to say that studying is pointless, but because traditional university education has been severely left behind by the rapid pace of AI's evolution. Let's all take a moment to recall, back in the year 2023, we were still learning how to write Python code, and we truly believed that it was the key to the future. However, by 2026, the AI programming tool, Devin 3.0, showcased at CES, can now independently write code, test it, deploy it, and even automatically fix its own bugs. AI can do in 1 second what university computer science taught for 4 years, and thanks to Lisa Su's chip price cuts, inference costs less than a cent. When AI removes the barrier to knowledge, the moats built by diplomas will vanish. The logic behind this is actually quite cruel. In the past, knowledge was scarce. If you memorized the entire civil code, you were a top lawyer, and you could charge high consultation fees. What now? A large legal AI model knows more than you, retrieves information faster, its logic is more rigorous than yours, and it's online 24/7. Its fee might be just 1% of yours. Before, if you mastered complex 3D modeling software, you were considered a senior designer. Now, a recent graduate just tells Midjourney one sentence, and the model it generates is more surprising than your entire week's work. Musk said that future competition won't be about who has memorized more books or who possesses a thicker stack of various certificates. Instead, it's about who can more precisely understand complex problems and who can effectively use AI to solve real-world challenges. This is truly the power of cognition. But what exactly is cognition? Many people don't clearly understand the difference between knowledge and cognition. Simply put, knowledge is knowing how tall Mount Everest is. You can just Google that. It's practically worthless. Cognition is why I want to climb Mount Everest and how I should plan the route. If I encounter a blizzard, how should I make decisions? If there's no oxygen left, should I save my teammates or protect myself first? In the AI era, answers are cheap, but asking questions is expensive. Judgment is expensive. Aesthetics are expensive. Empathy is expensive. And cross-disciplinary integration ability is expensive. The gap in academic qualifications has been bridged, but the cognitive gap has been infinitely widened. A high school student with top-tier understanding, utilizing AI agents, can single-handedly launch a company generating tens of millions of dollars in value. By 2026, this will no longer be news. Meanwhile, someone with a doctorate but a rigid mindset, those people may only serve as AI's assistants, doing data annotation, earning the lowest wages. This is the cruel selection Elon Musk spoke of. The education system is collapsing and a new evaluation system is being established. If you're still clinging to the old dream that a good university will secure your future forever, then you've already become an outcast of this era. Following this, Musk also put forth a prophecy concerning everyone's fundamental capital. This is the most easily overlooked yet most terrifying prophecy when you truly think about it. This is a marathon where you're competing for your very life. In his speech, pointing to his slightly protruding belly, he self-deprecatingly said, "I know I'm not a role model for health management, but I'm trying, because in the next decade, human life expectancy might significantly extend due to technological breakthroughs." This sounds like good news, doesn't it? At CES in 2026, we truly saw a lot of biohacking technologies, including smart rings that monitor blood sugar in real time, red light beds designed to repair cells, and even anti-aging medications developed with AI. Ray Kurzweil long predicted that humans will reach longevity escape velocity around 2029, meaning each year, technology adds over a year to your life, theoretically achieving immortality. But Musk then shifted focus, revealing the cruel subtext hidden behind it. The concept of longevity escape velocity essentially means you need to be healthy enough to reach the day technology truly takes off, and you must be wealthy enough to benefit from that technology. Future competition won't just be about capability, it will be more about physical well-being. Just imagine a scenario like this. By the year 2035, AI might have already successfully conquered cancer and Alzheimer's disease. Those individuals who prioritize their health, are full of energy, and possess significant wealth could potentially live to be 120 years old, or even much longer. They would then have a full 60 years to diligently accumulate even more wealth, to continuously acquire new knowledge, and to truly enjoy all the magnificent wonders of life. They can still work and create at 80 years old, just like they were 30, but what about you? If because of your current overexertion, staying up late, eating junk food, and a lack of exercise, you're plagued by chronic illnesses at 50, and you collapse at 60, then your window of opportunity will be half, or even more, shorter than others. You'll fall in the darkness just before dawn, becoming the one who couldn't wait for the ambulance. Musk said, in this highly competitive era, staying healthy is no longer just for wellness, no longer a patent for the elderly. It is your most vital strategic asset in these chaotic times. Your cardiopulmonary function, your muscle strength, your metabolic level. These indicators are more important than your bank savings, because savings may depreciate, may be diluted by inflation. But a healthy body is your only vessel for the massive information and workflow of the AI era. Hearing this, you might feel a chill, from the pain of unemployment to the invalidation of degrees and the race for longevity. The truths Musk has unveiled, each one feels like a whip lashing us. The future of universal high income he spoke of might come to pass, but Musk clearly stated that it might just be a basic income for minimum survival, definitely not a first-class ticket for us to get something for nothing. Because the progress of technology is never a gentle embrace, but instead a brutal and unforgiving screening process, it will ruthlessly eliminate those who choose to stand still, those whose bodies are weak and frail, and those whose thinking has become rigid and inflexible. It only rewards those who actively evolve, those with strong physiques and superior cognitive abilities. But to truly understand why Elon Musk made these remarks at this specific time, right after CES in January 2026, we must delve deeply into the current technological landscape. Why does every new chip unveiled by Jensen Huang and Lisa Su at CES implicitly validate Musk's concerns? Why is it said that the faster graphics cards become, the more difficult life might get for ordinary people? Let's return to Nvidia's CES 2026 keynote presentation. Jensen Huang, dressed in his leather jacket, proudly unveiled the Blackwell Ultra chip. He stated that this chip's inference speed is 5 times faster than the previous generation. Wall Street analysts are cheering, for it means greater efficiency, lower costs. Foxconn's Liu Yangwei is cheering, as it means more server orders. But for an average office worker, what does this 5-fold increase mean? It means the speed at which AI agents process documents. The speed is 5 times faster, which means AI agents write code 5 times faster. This means what took 5 people a week to do, one AI agent now completes in a day. Elon Musk pointed this out very incisively in his recent speech in Texas. The Moore's law of computational power is, in essence, the law of human labor's value depreciation. If your primary job function involves processing information, then your value is decreasing by 50% every single year. This is not an exaggeration, and it's certainly not alarmist talk. At the 2026 CES, we witnessed a significant number of AAS software companies vanish, being replaced by AI agent companies. Previously, as an accountant, your primary value stemmed from your proficiency in Excel and your ability to construct complex financial reports. Now, Nvidia's chips are powering a super accounting agent. The boss simply needs to upload their bank statements, and in 1 second, balance sheets, cash flow statements, and income statements are all generated. It can even file taxes automatically, and even provide tax avoidance advice based on the very latest tax laws. In this entire process, where did the accountant go? The accountant disappeared. Jensen Huang is accelerating computing power, effectively speeding up the process of dehumanization. The more glorious the future he shows at CES, the more intense the pain period Musk speaks of. This is a murder without malice. Nvidia isn't trying to kill your job. It just wants to make the world more efficient. But in a highly efficient world, average humans become the biggest burden. If Jensen Huang is focusing on high-end alternatives, then Lisa Su's AMD is truly competing at the foundational level. At CES 2026, what exactly is AMD's MI400 chip primarily aiming to achieve? It's all about cost-effectiveness. It's about making things truly affordable. Lisa Su is making AI computing power as accessible and inexpensive as tap water. That certainly sounds like a good thing, doesn't it? Democratizing computing power so that everyone can afford to use AI. However, the devaluation of academic qualifications that Musk mentioned in his prophecy is precisely caused by this cheap computing power. When computing power was expensive, only large corporations could afford AI, giving ordinary people a chance to catch their breath. After Lisa Su drove down the price of computing power, even small street-side advertising firms and small law offices can now afford top-tier AI models, which has led to extremely intense internal competition. Before, as a fresh college graduate, if you could write a bit of copy and make a few graphics, you could easily find a job. Now, because computing power is so cheap, your boss can spend just 100 yuan to rent an AI assistant 10 times more capable than you. Your competitor is no longer your colleague, but that AMD server that never sleeps, runs 24 hours a day, and only needs a few watts of electricity. Elon Musk said the education gap is being filled, and this is precisely the reason. Because with cheap computing power, the knowledge you gained in 4 years of college, whether accounting standards, legal provisions, or programming syntax, is now worthless. This knowledge has been compressed into models, readily available, and as cheap as air. So Lisa Su's victory and AMD's rise are not good news for ordinary people in knowledge-intensive industries, but a death knell. It marked the complete end of the knowledge worker profession. In his speech, Musk also raised a profound point. We are witnessing the transfer of power from carbon-based to silicon-based life. At CES 2026, this transition was already apparent. We no longer saw tools assisting humanity, but rather entities replacing it. Tesla's Optimus robot is no longer the clumsy, faltering prototype it once was. It can now independently handle, assemble, and perform quality checks for the entire production process within the factory. It requires no rest, no emotional connection. It simply works tirelessly, without end. Elon Musk, as the CEO of Tesla, naturally appreciates and favors such dedicated workers. Yet, as a human being, he experiences a profound sense of deep apprehension. His remarks at the Texas Gigafactory were actually preparing all of humanity psychologically. He told us, stop dreaming that the idyllic era of working 8 hours and then going home to enjoy life is over. Future jobs are only two types. Either you master AI, becoming the one who gives commands, or you're sustained by AI, receiving basic welfare. There is no third path in between. This is an extremely cruel binary opposition. At the threshold of the future, the gatekeeper will ask you a question. Do you possess irreplaceable creativity? Do you have empathy that transcends algorithms? Do you have the physique for this high-pressure world? Is this the new era? If your answer is no, then I'm afraid you won't get into that prosperous inner circle. You'll be left outside the gate, receiving just enough UBI to keep you from starving, which is universal basic income. Although Musk's prophecy sounds quite desperate, the reason he said these words at this particular time was not to create anxiety. Quite the opposite. He wants to awaken us. Since the rules have already changed, and the gatekeepers are now standing there, how can we secure that ticket to the future? How can we avoid becoming the graves that are simply filtered out, and instead become the actively evolving molecules? This is precisely what we will focus on in the second half of our discussion. The antidote Musk provided is actually hidden within his very own warning. Firstly, Elon Musk has repeatedly stressed that cognition is king. So, in the year 2026, what kind of understanding will truly be considered top tier? It's not merely about knowing how to use ChatGPT. That's already old news from 2023. First, you absolutely must possess systemic thinking. Previously, we were just cogs in a machine, only needing to do the immediate task well, for instance, filling out this form accurately or writing this line of code correctly. Now, AI can handle all the menial tasks, and it does them 10,000 times better than you. What you need to be is a designer, a contractor, an architect. You must see the entire business process and know how to embed this AI tool into your workflow. For example, if you're a copywriter, you can't just know how to write. You need to understand market analysis, user psychology, and visual presentation. Then you direct AI to write copy, direct AI to create images, and direct AI to analyze data. You transform from being just a writer into a content product creator. This is systems thinking. You need to stand at the top of the system overseeing AI, instead of competing with AI for speed at the bottom. Secondly, you must possess critical thinking, which by 2026 will truly be a life-saving skill. AI-generated answers might be correct or they might be complete nonsense. In an era where academic degrees are devalued, judgment is far more important than mere knowledge. You need the ability to discern truth from falsehood and to uncover the flaws in AI's logic. You must dare to say no to AI and dare to propose counterintuitive ideas. Because of mediocre opinions, AI can generate 10,000 pieces of correct nonsense that everyone already knows in 1 second. Only those scarce counterintuitive insights with a unique personal perspective are humanity's last high ground of value. For example, AI can tell you about the stock market trends of the past decade, but it finds it very difficult to accurately predict the next black swan event because it is also trained exclusively on historical data. However, as a human being with intuition and valuable experience, your intuitive judgment can prove to be extremely precious. Third, and this is perhaps the most important point, you need to have the ability to connect. When human-to-human connections are obstructed by AI, when everyone is staying at home, conversing with AI, those individuals who can step into the real world, who are able to close deals with clients face-to-face, who can effectively organize teams, and who are capable of conveying genuine emotions, will become exceptionally precious. While Jensen Huang was at CES promoting his robots, he himself was actually the one most adept at building human connections. He went to show his support for Terry Gou. He interacted personally with Lisa Su, and at his press conference, he captivated the entire audience just like a rock star. This kind of warm, in-person human connection capability is something silicon-based life will simply never be able to learn. AI can certainly simulate empathy, but it can never truly give you a genuine hug. In the future, all jobs that involve deep human trust, such as high-end sales, psychological counseling, complex negotiations, and team leadership, will be fortresses that AI will find difficult to breach. Regarding Elon Musk's third prediction, which concerns longevity and health, we must re-examine it from a strategic perspective. Stop treating fitness as a pastime you only do when you have free time. You must manage your body like a publicly traded company. In 2026, in this marathon of survival, your muscle mass will be your cash flow, your cardiopulmonary function will be your growth potential, and your sleep quality will be your risk control. Although Elon Musk himself is a workaholic, frequently sleeping on the factory floor, he understands very clearly what the eve of a biotechnology explosion truly signifies. If you are 30 years old now, you just need to live healthily for another 30 years, and you could live to be 130. These 30 years are your life. To secure your spot. So starting today, reject those cheap sugars. They'll make you inflamed and sluggish. Reject those addictive short videos. They'll not only steal your time, but also destroy your focus. Reject those meaningless late nights. Go lift weights, run, meditate. This isn't about looking good, it's about survival. It's so that in the year 2035, when that anti-aging injection is finally invented, your blood vessels can still endure that precious gift of life, your brain hasn't atrophied yet, and you can still comprehend the rules of that brand new world. We also need to discuss an even deeper topic, and that is the complete reshaping of your mindset. Confronted by AI's crushing dominance, many people will fall into a kind of nihilism, thinking they can't beat machines, so they'd rather just give up. But Elon Musk tells us this mindset is the beginning of self-elimination. Future society may very well become the so-called godlike and useless class. Godlike individuals are those who understand how to leverage AI, possess a superior intellect, and maintain a healthy physical state. These individuals will perform miracles, much like deities. The useless class, however, consists of those who have abandoned critical thinking, rely solely on algorithms, and whose bodies and minds have both degenerated. In this year 2026, we're at a critical crossroads. Every time you choose deep reading instead of just scrolling TikTok, every time you choose to exercise instead of simply lying down, every time you choose to learn a new skill instead of just complaining, you are taking a small step towards becoming a superhuman. Furthermore, we must also recognize the opportunities. While older positions are vanishing, fresh opportunities are constantly appearing. At CES 2026, even though news of layoffs was rampant, we also observed the emergence of numerous new companies. These firms often have only 3 to 5 people, yet their valuations reach hundreds of millions of dollars. Why? Because they've leveraged AI to maximize efficiency. This is the era of the super individual. Before, to shoot a film, you needed a crew of hundreds and tens of millions in investment. Now, with AI video tools, if you have a good script and a keen eye, you can make a blockbuster from home. Before, to develop software, you needed front-end, back-end, operations and testing, a whole team of people. Now, if you simply understand the business logic, you can direct AI to write the software for you. So, as Elon Musk said, the old era's tickets are now obsolete. In fact, he's also saying that new era tickets are being given out for free. The key is whether you dare to go and claim them. The name of this new ticket isn't diligence, nor is it obedience. It's called creativity and integration. Finally, I want to conclude today's presentation with that rather stark, yet incredibly powerful tone from Elon Musk's speech. He said at the end of his talk, "The future is here, and he doesn't care if you're ready. It's like a full-speed Cybertruck. Either you get on board, or you get run over." At CES 2026, we witnessed the future, brimming with intellect and intelligence, that Jensen Huang and Lisa Su so vividly painted for us. That future is truly grand and very appealing, but Elon Musk reminds us that future has a significant threshold, and that threshold is your anti-fragility. Can you quickly switch career paths during a wave of unemployment, finding new points of value? Can you quickly build your own cognitive system after your degree becomes completely obsolete and solve real-world problems? Can you maintain your fundamental health before a technological explosion, waiting until the starting point arrives? These 3 questions have no standard answers. The answers lie in your daily actions, in whether you're willing to turn off the game, to learn a new tool, in whether you're willing to put down your phone and run 5 kilometers, in whether you're willing to step out of your comfort zone, to tackle complex problems that most people find daunting. Technological progress is never meant to make the weak more comfortable, but to make the strong even stronger. This is a brutal selection. But the good news is, the answers to this test are public. Elon Musk has already given us the answers. Don't be the denominator that gets filtered out. Don't be the wife crying during labor pains. Instead, be the numerator, actively embracing change, possessing a strong physique and top-tier understanding. Thank you all for watching this episode. In this video, we dissected Elon Musk's truly eye-opening prophecy from early 2026. If you found this video insightful, or it helped you gain some clarity, even if just a little bit, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because on this journey towards the future, it's essential that we walk together. In these uncertain times, this is truly a very precious connection.